Okay, this time we're playing Touhou. If you couldn't guess. Warm up. Practice, warm up. Sonya, why do you have to be such a problem? Didn't have her line. She's not even that hard. Yeah, she's not that hard. She's only pretty bad. She's not like she's the worst. But she's not the worst, therefore she's not bad at all. Listen, it's warm up, it's practice. Gotta get in the groove. Listen, I haven't had to do Touhou reads in like 25 hours. It's a lot of time to not fuck my ass. It's a lot of time to not make a single Touhou read. Grimson, you'll fuck his ass. Well, that's why I said fuck my ass, because I'm just commenting on what she's doing. It's not a request, it is a observation as to what is going on. Yo, what up, Sammy? Hope you're doing well. See, like, the height on non-1, like, it's important and it can suck, but it's non-2 is so significant with it. Really? That was mine. Yeah, I saw it was some Udolig, right? Son of a beep. Nice job. Too cold. I'm too jumpy right now. I'm too. I'm not too. Yeah, Witcher, don't you love when you go against Seija and then she just pulls turn 1 bow? And then, like, and then round 2 pyramid? Like, the exact, like, literally the exact, like, thing she needs to pull in order to just absolutely shit on you. That bow got nerfed. Yeah, it's so much worse than it used to be. They nerfed it, and it's still way worse than Cup ever was. And yet these people are,
No, but Cup takes away my exhibits!
Ooh. Good grief, Fammy, with your 50s. This has something to do with the LNN. I don't know if it has anything to do with that. I just think it has to do with, you liking Touhou, which is a weird concept. Imagine liking Touhou around here. I mean, all my homies hate Touhou. She is low, and I love that. It's my favorite thing that in this game. You get rid of that non-2, and this fight's really solid, I think. It's just that non-2 is such a piss grab. I do kind of like it, but, like, I only like non-2 when it behaves. Which cannot be said about everything. There are a lot of attacks that, like, I'm a fan of. Even in the oddball situations, they don't behave well. I love 2/3 movement. I love 2/3 movement. I fucking love 2/3 movement. Hello, 11. Thank you for the 17 months. What does die say third spell card mean? Exhibit builds? You can't do exhibit builds anyway because you don't choose exhibits. And consider that, like, half of the exhibits in the game don't care if they get stolen because they already provided their value. Chopper provides a Chopper, Peach, the golden snitch thing. These all provide value the moment you get them, and then they never provide more value again. Some things, like the watch, really good exhibit, but they only provide value when you pick up cards. They don't provide value in the middle of the fight. And even then, most of the exhibits that have value in the middle of the fight have a bit of... Maybe they have a lot of value, like... But those are few and far between that have, like, significant value. Like, a lot of them are going to be, like, you know, if you play 3 attack cards in one turn, here's a Spirit. Good effect, if you can get it off. Maybe you get it off once or twice a fight. Maybe. But, like, you're not getting a lot of value out of that most of the time. Plus, you still actually have turn 1 to do things with your exhibits. And there are a number of exhibits that, as long as you have one turn to do stuff with, you still get good value out of them. You have a discard build, Lunatic Gun. The Lunatic Gun is not what carries the discard build. It's the discard cards. The Lucha Gun is just a addition. But also, you do still get turn 1 with your exhibits. Now, I mean, you have to discard the card, though, right? You can't just, like, end your turn like you can with the knife. You played Suwak? I didn't know there was a Suwak mod. Some of the cards are disgustingly unbalanced. Good thing the base game doesn't have anything that could be considered OP. Modded moment. It is indeed a modded moment. There are some people that have really good at game design, and even then, it's hard to really make it really bad. But you know, one thing to be fair to always ask yourself about mods is about making mods and stuff. Is like, is this adding to the game? Like in a way that's making the game better, right? One thing you realize with a lot of communities is a lot of people who think, a lot of people online think they know game balance, game design. They'll sit there and they'll bitch, this thing sucks, dude. I love in like card games or something when there's a card that's like extremely niche, like incredibly rare, and then there's just people who are like, you know, I would fix this card. I'd buff it. This card needs to be buffed. This card's gotta get changed. And then like some cards like good, like there's a good card. It's like, man, this thing's pretty good. That has to get nerfed. We should nerf the card. God forbid we have good, strong things and weak things. Everything needs to be perfectly balanced. And then you give them the reins for about 5 minutes, and they create something that's just questionable at best. At best. Dory, this is the way it should be. They balanced it. Here we trade Cup for Bow.
But my exhibits, and like 90% of them again, don't do anything.
It's also weird that of everything they did, they took Cup. It's for Bo. Like, and here's the other thing about Bo, too. I'm not about Bo, about Cup. Cup on 4 is meaningless. It is so, like, insanely meaningless. That's the other thing about the Sage exhibits, though. Is Cup on 4 is so meaningless at that point. Because if the exhibit is so good and it's so influential to your run, then you probably like won or are about to win by turn 4. And you lose it at the end of turn 4. It's not at the start of turn 4, it's at the end of turn 4. And so that's one thing. It's like, I understand kind of the slight issue with like, oh, Cup on 1 is questionable. I think it's still perfectly fine. I think Cup on 1 is still better for you, the player, than anything else that Sage can pull. On average, at least. But Cup on 4 just does nothing. Like, even if you are so... Also, nice Sanyo. even if you are super reliant on your exhibits and stuff, again, by you still have 4 turns for it. By that point, she's so low. It's just Cup on 4 is so worthless. Obviously, you can't put Pyramid on 1. Pyramid on 1 would be just revolting. Although that's also because Pyramid is probably the worst of the first 5 exhibits, and probably her second worst exhibit, period. Like, the only thing that's probably worse than Pyramid is Key. But at the same time, Key is later, so hit or miss. In terms of its, value. At least there are builds that, like, Pyramid doesn't shut down, but... I don't count the Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball's... lower her damage cap. What do you mean? Make it so you can deal more damage per turn? Or make it so you can deal less damage per turn? That's a 200 or even 150. That would be interesting. Although I don't feel like Sage needs... I think Sage is in a fine spot with where she lies. Again, Bo is a question mark, but even then... And, like, Cup on 4 is so irrelevant. But, like, generally speaking, every build that's really broken is still going to win. You're not getting stopped. Like, generally, the most broken of builds can only get shut down by a bow on 1. And even then, you kind of have... It has to be a very specific build, and then... You still have to hit, like, the Pure Radiance or something. Or the Glare. You can't be on 1. I mean, ultimately, you, with Key, you kind of got, like, or with the exhibits, it's like, there's a world you create more, or create, like, an alternate. And I think Bow on 4, if you revert to old Bow, is still really good. It still can be brutal, but it's just, having Bow scaling from turn 1 is just crippling. Filthy runs the last second Key. The thing I forgive about Key is if you let the fight get far enough to the point where Key comes up, and I've still won when she pulls Key before. Like, it's hard, but like you can still do that. If the run is going so far to the point where, because you have to not kill in 7 turns minimum in order for Key to be relevant, right? Then at that point, it does suck, but like, you can't complain that much, right? Much as set rotation increasingly worse exhibits instead of RNG. Yeah, but then you'd have to do something where she pulls exhibits probably more often if you're using the current existing exhibit spread, but then you can't. You probably have to have her pull exhibits on attacks at some point. Then again, I think the Sage fight's in a fine spot. I think it does a good job of what it should be. Like, it's a really hard boss. Sometimes it is just going to kill you. It's not the end-all be-all of a run, because generally a run is considered one in the game if you beat the Act 3 boss, which is already a big wall sometimes, right? Like, it's rare for a build to be super shut down by Sanai, but it can happen. Remy and Junko have their problems. Act 3 boss, you have to beat Sage. I found it's probably a bit closer to 50-50 in my experience. Because generally speaking, like, again, with the exception of the most broken of builds, there usually tends to be a Seija rotation that can be used. Like, a Seija setup that can be... Hello, Light General. Yorkie Boss saying debug menu. Yeah, it hasn't apparently been sitting there for like a year now. Same with Alice. These the devs make exactly one change every 6 weeks, and they're like, "Cool, that's a lot of work for now." Oh, shit. Put your deck down to an infinite. Yeah, I've had Glove give me infinites before. Everything else? What do you mean by everything else? You mean other games? Because that's what I assume they've been doing. Listen, Alice and Lost Branch will take about as long as Lavi tries taking. Like, what is that, about like 12 years or something? To be fair, I'm not saying I'm not one of those people that's like, give me Alice right now. No, I like for it to stay in the game. Yeah, Pendant is super situational. Because like you either have the AOE for it, like some builds just can handle it perfectly fine, and if you can handle Pendant is literally like meaningless. But if you can't handle Pendant, it can be just straight up game losing. Teapot's probably the most tame of the Act 1 exhibits on average. Like, I don't know if there's really many builds that, like, truly shuts down on one, but, like, it's also a lot harder for it to be, like, completely meaningless on one. Strongpool's kind of crazy. Yeah, but you also have to get that far, and then other things too. And, like, also, if you're at the point where you're getting late Pendant, is the late Pendant the thing that's killing you, or is it the Pyramid or the Key that's killing you, right? Cool, Teapot is the worst exhibit for 1. That's fair. When it was Cup, Pendant, and Teapot, like, I think Teapot's the most consistent, right? Because, again, Pendant's really hit or miss. It either does something, or it literally doesn't do, like, anything. Okay? You're playing Raymoon, you got a Fantasy Seal, like, Born. What is that one? You know, the draw 3 deal damage to AoE. If you have one of those builds going on, Pendant does literally nothing. Okay, you got big cold builds going on with Cheerbo. Boom, you can just completely clean house. You deal enough damage where you can kill Seija on turn like 3 or like turn 4, turn 5. Pendant's not gonna really matter that much. So it's like it's super like situational. Well, Teapot, and again, Cup is also the same thing. Super situational is like when it does something. While Teapot's like the most like, Teapot's always going to do something, generally speaking, right? It's not as like run shutdown as some. You know, vulnerable on turn 2 is kind of rough at times, but by kind of rough, I mean pretty rough. But it's not as Like, a bad teapot is still always going to be better than a bad pendant. Like, I was getting vulnerable. Oh yeah, I've lost runs because she pulls vulnerable early. That's why I say it's usually not as game loosey though. Because it's so like it's consistently rough, but it's not usually. Like to be fair as well, for like, you know, vulnerable on 2. The damage boost of 40 to like 60 damage. If you can't handle that, you know, you're probably in trouble to a lot of things anyway. Maybe not, but maybe yeah. The other thing about Bow that really pisses off about Bow is the fact that pure radiance. like sometimes you get like the glamorous starlights. You're like, okay, this is annoying, but it's not. But like it's like a lot more fine. And then you just get like pure radiance glare, and you're just like, why are we doing this? Like, Bow is an RNG pull inside of an RNG pull, right? Also, I think the worst feeling in Lost Branch is when you just whiff on a draw. Like, if you have a good draw or something, it's like and like you just die because she's doing like 80 damage to you, and you just can't quite, or like you dying to a draw where you draw like 2 radiance at a glare and then you just don't have enough other cards to do anything with feels worse to me, in my opinion, than dying to like key. The 3 status cards, she now shuffles 1 misfortune. Well, first of all, it's only 2 status cards. Second of all, that would very likely be better in any situation that's not drunk. If she shuffled in a drunk, that'd be worse. But in basically every other situation, her shuffling a misfortune would be better for you, the player, than shuffling 2 status cards. Because again, a big problem with the status cards isn't like, oh, necessarily, like the pure radiance like effect is kind of sucky, but it's when you draw 5 cards to start your turn and 4 of them are just status cards. It's like, well, I can't do anything. I don't get to play the game. Right? If she only shuffled 1 misfortune, the odds of getting like the worst draws like that are like not as big. It'll take 100 damage because of G. Have you ever thought about blocking? Listen, I had a run yesterday with Grey Hawkray Barrier. Just out-bulk it. Forehead. I thought you liked that card. You play the Grey Hawkray Barrier and just out-bulk everything. Grey Hawkray Barrier. Yeah, it did do a lot of work too. Like, it was a pivotal part of my plan. Which I did pick it up intentionally. It's not like I like stumbled into the barrier and like an early random rare. I picked it up purposely, I think, after like the actual boss. God, if it's a falling rabbit. I mean, I've done that into Sage before. Right? You just try that infinite flawless and hope it's enough. But here's what I want to do. I want to like mod the game back to the world where Cup on 1 was the thing instead of bow. And then let you know how many runs I lose due to Cup on 1. And then we'll look to modern day to see how many runs get lost to bow on 1. They're multi-tag, you kill you through flawless. I mean, yeah, but to be fair, if you're at like 10 HP and you're dying to that, you know, you're in trouble regardless. Oh, fuck you. Although, to be fair, if there's one thing I've learned about card games, it's that a lot of people don't have a good grasp onto what's actually good and bad in things. You just pick the card you like, exactly. See, and this is kind of some of the point, you know. You don't just take every rare card that exists. Sometimes I do it because I do it like often because it's really fun. But like I also understand that there's that oftentimes I am at the take it and you lose. Clearly, it sucks. Exactly. Also, one thing I've learned a lot is that people are obsessed with synergy. Even to the point where it's completely dog shit. If one card says discard, if you discard a card, deal 1 damage, and another card says discard a card, people would lose their minds over the fucking synergy of it. I know that's an extreme thing, but like, if two effects have an aspect of like synergy, even if it's weak, even if it sucks, people are obsessed with it. And this is not like a Lost Branch specific thing. This is a thing I see all over the place. A decent idea in Lost Branch is the fact that, say you're playing Chirno A, and you have like an insane cold build going on, and then you get offered a card, and you have like the cold stacking, right? You know, whenever you like cold a cold target, you'll increase damage, you know, that ability and stuff. And you got like a lot of good stuff going. It's a really good build. And then you just see a card, and it's like the, what is it, the 12 damage. It's like cold on a target. If bomb card's blue, it's like cold on, like, repeat this effect on a different target. You're like, this card says cold, and I have so much cold stuff. Oh, this has got to be good. And then it's actually just literally worse for you to take this card compared to what you actually have. Gunner lost it for your Tenchi. Well, to be fair, if you're relying like entirely on Lunatic Gun, you're going to lose to even a post no Tenchi. Doing fine. I'm not here criticizing whether or not the build was working fine, but like the point is, if that's your if that's like your sole reliance on offense, you're still gonna lose to a modern Tenchi, right? Damn, my army of only Daisei can't be Tenchi. This is insane. Tenchi's Giga weak to anal? Is that true? I didn't know that. Dormige's Reporter of Dreams. Which characters can she summon? Yomu, Aya, Junko, Remy. I think it's those four. I am not having a good time on this first spell right now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just Junko, Remy, Aya, and Yomu. I can't think of anyone else off the top of my head. And Aya actually Aya has the Apex Speedster thing, not her usual passive. So I don't know why it's Aya. Say that twice if you're unlucky. Well, I'd argue it's actually probably, well, it depends on who it is, but it very well might be lucky if she hits the same enemy twice, right? Like, 2 Remy's is good, right? You'd rather have 2 Remy than 2 something, than, like, Remy plus something else. Like, the only situation that's probably worse is Junko, right? I guess Aya too. The sequel, Aya 2. Wait, that's just Mega Move. Holy shit, I did it. Okay, if you had to marry Sanyo or Misumaru, who are you picking?
Fuck you, you piece of shit. How is she at that high of HP still? Good grief.
Marcus, Sonya's smoke would bother you. That's a pretty issue. What do you mean I hate when you bring up lore? I like when you bring up lore. Usually. Celebration pretty much does you. Yeah, when you've done Sanyo for the thousandth time in practice, it just effectively like warps your brain, so. Oh, snipe. Jay said Lord just why you can't marry them. No, that's just you being a hater. Okay. It's actually just you being held back by your common sense and Kitsokyo, which you hate to see. Like, you sit there and go on about, no, Yuko would be a bad wife because the Netherworld is clearly terrible, and Yuko sucks, and she's cold, and it's terrible. And contrary, Yuko's fat titties. Like, what about that? Also, hello, Alex. Sonya's smoke be used to control people's minds. Some people might be into that. Yuko have fat titties, depending on who you ask. But I think she more often has them than doesn't. Place. Well, 90% of Touhou fights are just fights because, like, that's just what you do. When you greet someone, you fight. Yeah, Yuko can kill you, but that doesn't mean she's going to kill you, right? Yuko, much like 90% of Touhou characters, has like some insanely potentially ridiculous ability, but it never actually really gets used or does anything. Because for some random reason or another, it actually doesn't do anything. Good fucking grief, you have 1 HP. Of fate, flaw in being able to destroy anything, quote unquote. I mean, you could go through a massive... Ooh, I've forgotten on two. Damn, more iconic duo. Like, you could literally go through a massive list of characters and talk about how they have some part of them that's, actually just insanely strong from, a theoretical lore perspective, but, for some various reason, it ends up kind of balancing out. Dogging Neil your throat disease. Hey, she's the GOAT. Don't shit talk Futaka. Actually, I'll shit talk her fight in 17.5. The boss exists in this game. Are we gonna ignore the 30 minutes of Sanyo that I already did? Because if we do ignore that, then no, there's no other fight in the game. This is the only fight. This is actually the only thing that exists. Is non-1 and spell 1. Turns out if you can do just these 2 attacks, you LNN. You would literally LNN the game. But I mean, come on, Eren is literally one of the founders of the moon, supposed to be one of the smartest people ever. As insane power, and yet, she, compared to, some other things, she's honestly relatively tame. Kaguya, same thing, Princess of the Moon, access to the 5 impossible quests. Fucking so powerful she can make the Horai elixir. That was flawed, exactly. She can destroy literally anything, theoretically. Remy has fate manipulation. Sounds really strong. What does that actually mean? Not that it actually does anything. Sakuya can literally stop time. Honestly, you can just stop right there. Gyuko can literally kill, has power over death. They can just, bring death to anything. Friggin' Kaine can eat history. What the fuck does that mean? You can eat history. Son of a bitch. I like the ability. Oh, I love it a lot too. I like how Touhou is as a whole. That makes it really helps to make characters kind of even, across the board. And I think in the context of Touhou and how 90% of Touhou writing is and how it's dresses, it's really good for the series. And because Touhou's so doujin based, it also really helps, I think, out there. Yukari has the ability to fucking just teleport, literally gap any 2 things together that she fucking wants. She fucking buses trains from the outside world to run over her enemies. Okina's very similar, by the way. Oku is literally a bird with the power of the sun. Literally nuclear reactor over here. Merlin has the power to make you feel happy when she plays her instrument. Or was it Lyrica makes you depressed? Or is it Lunasis that makes you depressed? One of them makes you depressed, and the other one is the middle ground of the two. You imagine someone's bothering you, just play your instrument, you make them depressed. Just because you played music. You got the most useless ability. I can hear and understand 10 people at the same time. Seiga can walk through walls. Which, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, is not the most impressive thing. Clown Piece's torch can drive people insane. Racing can drive people insane by, like, looking at their wavelength. Okay, Lunash is the one that makes you sad? Okay. Seija has the power to flip anything upside down. She'd be great at flipping coins. Oof, that then. So that's the power of being boring. Bro, sit there when there's 70 knives on screen, or 70 spears on screen, tell me that's boring. When you're fighting for your life, you're having spears shoved down your throat every 2 seconds. I didn't ask about the details of Kaine's power. My point is that, like, so many characters have, like, a power that on the surface is, like, it's stupidly strong, but then for, like, some various reason it's, like, totally kept in balance check. Despite the fact that, like, realistically shouldn't, but, like, it does. It kept it in check. Fuck! I mean, I know how Kaine's power works. I'm very familiar with it. I still say that because they, like, it doesn't make fucking sense that you could just eat history. Like, bro, I would eat the history of the human village existing, and therefore, because I did this, suddenly every human forgets it exists or some bullshit. Nom nom nom. History is not a physical object. How the fuck do you eat it? Bro went to school, just get some history books and then ate it. Book about the Civil War. World War II, eat that up. Yummy books. It has the power of luck. Ooh. But, like, the luck is so stupid that it's like what? It's, like, so stupidly strong. I dashed too far to the right there. Oh, that final's such a bitch. Yamame can literally spread, like, the most deadliest diseases known to man. That ability being a bitch, yeah. Yelling at Reimu. That is Cassent's ability. I mean, Suika has like a billion things stacked together. Right, she can literally turn into fog. It'd be undetectable, by the way, in the process to everyone that's not like Yukari. She literally has to like pull Suika out of the fog to make you see her. Satori can literally read minds. Serious thought. Yeah, Kasume is the bucket child. Ah, I hate you, Nungri. Yuma can eat, and then not stop eating, and then become stronger because she ate. Because she can manipulate your subconscious to make you go schizo. Yawn, dude. There's like a dozen fucking Touhou characters that can drive you insane. Okay, it's nothing new. No, Benlin. Yuma's solar ability for Ringo. This is the choir team. I'll believe you because I've never had Goku before. Nice move down, by the way. We love that, Mitsumaru. I lied. Although the good news is if she moves down, she's likely to move up and make it easier after that. Ideo's pretty decent right now. I mean, I've been getting better at spell ones, slowly but surely. It's a long process. I've been getting happier. This spell? This spell is annoying. I fucking hate you. I'm tired of getting you. She's literally the fucking princess of the moon. She's got the 5 fucking undoable requests. She can literally make the Horai elixir. You know, the elixir of immortality. Her magic is apparently so fucking insanely, like, powerful. And then she still loses to Raven because Touhou. Dude, Sagame is one of the craziest ones on the market. Whatever she says, like, will cause the opposite to happen. Capsizes boats for fun, yeah. Mamizo has the power of being really hot. Oh, what a down move. I also should have been on the right, not the left there. That was on me. Like, the point is that, like, every Touhou character is broken until Zoo needs them to lose for something. And then there's like, actually, this thing happens, and then they lost. Saki is, like, the biggest fucking, like, noteworthy aspect of this. Girl can literally stop time and then theoretically do whatever she wants, but we're gonna throw something in there to, like... we're gonna, like, oh, but actually, here's our caveat to the rule here. Because if we let Sakia be as Sakia should be, she'd be completely broken. So would, like I said, so would every other Touhou character in the market. But we're gonna do something to make it not quite as broken. Gameplay this character's not try-harding. Well, that's also the point. It's like, how do you make the fucking characters, like, balanced? She wasn't actually, like going all out here. She was actually just, like, having a fun time. And then they got cheesed, actually, in some, like, random metric here. And then they just kind of gave up because they felt like it. But they weren't actually trying. Moko has the power. Moko has the fucking power of the Phoenix. She can literally was able to combust on command. Is able to, like, explode on command, come back and be, like, perfectly fine. Except she can only do that, like, so much. However, like, not all the, like, sometimes she can do it a lot, and sometimes she can only do it, like, a bit. Damn, that knight's entrapped in the Demi Samaru. Oh! Sakia has the power over time. Also, Sakuya, literally every fucking game she's in, which is a lot of them, doesn't fucking use that power for a second. I'm just messing around. I'm not actually, like, tryharding. I'm only, like, partly tryharding. I'm not gonna use this. It'd be too easy. That's what I said. I like this aspect of Touhou. The vague ambiguity and how you make every character, like, balanced. Every character be able to beat, like, every character, theoretically. But it is fun when you do things like this. Yeah, Yuyuko, she could literally kill you, like, if she wanted to on the spot. Yeah, she's just that powerful, but, like, you know, she's not actually gonna, like, do that. Like, she doesn't actually want to kill people. Why? I hate that final. Suwako has the power of frog. And that's a very, very threatening power. Oh, boom. How many characters know that's the power of love and friendship? Well, it depends on who you ask. There's definitely some love if you ask some of the fans. No, you don't understand. Marissa and Notori want to have sex with each other real badly. They're just super, super horny for each other. Is that not the power of love? Ah, I cut to the right too quick, I think. Or I didn't cut back to the left fast enough. Damn it! Ooh, this is not a good opening section. I just Sunny could throw suns. Maybe she can, but she just doesn't. Because, like, she can only throw suns, but, like, only on, like, a Tuesday. For like 2 hours, and like you just never see her during that time period, so like you don't see her doing that. Yugi apparently has, like, literally unrivaled physical strength. You don't really, like, see it, like, ever. But, like, she does apparently have that. Oh, man, that was an awkward triple. Did Luna child throw the moon or children at you? Good question. Well, by that logic, would Sunny throw a sun at you, or would she throw milk at you? I was gonna say, does Star throw stars or throw sapphires at you? Oh, just terrible. Everything was terrible there. So many stupid moves. Me when I'm in a paper factory, everything's terrible. Get it? Tear? We need to get Kokoro in one of the Danmaku games. Oh, buddy, what are we doing there? She not in Violet Detector? Was she in Violet Detector? I don't think she was, but like I could be forgetting. I don't think she was. I don't remember if she was. So. Because I think of the spin-off characters. Pokes. I think like Kasen and Jun and Shion are the only ones to not appear in a Danmaku game. That's the best killing I've ever done. That appears in Reimu's Eagle ending, and Wily Beast were his soul back. Jimbo, you don't have to be what you are. Ah, fuck you. It's those last 5 seconds, it's like what the movement plan there is, I'm still like unsure. I know there's an aspect of where I want to bait it to the right, but I'm not sure when. I wasn't even looking. Just someone throwing little shit at you and then claiming it's a spell card. I don't imagine that because I'm not into scat, sorry. Medicine Medicine needs to get brought back, SMH. Dude, POFV really went, okay, here's Aya, you're gonna see Aya a billion times. Here's everybody else, you're never gonna see them again. Oh, close. Oop, bad. Giant pillar things? Are the giant pillar things Kaneko throws her poop? I'm not the most familiar with Kaneko lore. Everything else in the kitchen sink. She throws trains at you, bro. Oh, you're acting up. Here's a train. And since a brat cloud to tag and just shoot the bullet, that is one way to refer to it. Section is something else, I tell you. I walked right. It was one single bullet, bro. Like, he should throw a snowball with a rock in it. Bro, if she threw a snowball with a rock in it at Reimu in PCV, Reimu would have just killed her. I do like this section. I like it a lot more than Jimbo, than the section after Jimbo, and the section after that, and the section after that. Excuse me. Dude, she's literally in the wall. There are fairies in your wall. Tear down your wall and get them out. That section's fun. I like that section a lot. I probably won't like it if I'm on it in the middle of a run, but like I like that section. It's a cool one.
Dude, I did it again! I just walk into one bullet by itself.
I should learn the Jimbo misdirect, but I don't want to. At some point, I'm sure I will, but I'm not going to do it right now. Section's so much fun. You know, there's such a nice aspect of trying to play aggressive to and play in a way to kill as many of the yin-yangs as you can, while playing defensive and trying to survive as well. I hate you. I don't want to learn Jimbo, dude. Why can't you just be more straightforward? Why can't the basic Jimbo strap be enough? Why do I have to learn the misdirect on Jimbo? Or the misdirects, plural? I'll do it and I'll get it so, like, secondhand that, like, I won't even think twice about doing it, but I don't want to do it. Why'd you at me and then point to an X? What does that mean? See, this is what we call bad killing. This was not good killing, so I made this section worse for myself than it needed to be. Playing real really newest characters. Is that true? How new was Ben and Yatsuhashi when they were made? When we found them? They can't have been that new, that old, right? Miko Ratio reawakened, she could not have known about the spell card rules. Yeah, but have you ever considered that the game wouldn't really like make much sense gameplay wise if she didn't know about spell card rules? So she does. They're stocking Reimu because they're all because everyone's hard for Reimu. Okay. Have you seen those armpits? Can you blame them? Not the best giant killing. Have a good one, Lover. They do one passive attempt at the L section. Sure, give me a minute. Oh, piss her butt. So close. There, you happy? Skill-based gameplay right here. I deserve that. Okay, Game Glitcher, which fox do you like more? Ron or Tsukasa? section is so stupid.
Fuck.
A bunch of snake Tsukasa. So you saying you like Tsukasa more than Ron? Is that what you're saying? Is that your answer? Fighting words, man. Personality-wise, absolutely. Mods? Oh, that was stupid. Please use I. Better be stuck in your head for 3 days. You talking about in Fantasy Maiden Wars? Unfortunately, even if I wanted to, I can't use Aya because she's not in the she's not in my current usable life. I'm on the moon, and unfortunately, with the plot, she didn't go to the moon, so I cannot use Aya, even if I wanted to. How many times has Aya taken upskirt shots? I mean, you saw what, like, I was playing Shoot the Bullet, and you saw how wild Aya was getting with some of those. Still on the moon. I got one more moon mission, dude. Okay, there's 4 missions on the moon, I think. 4 or 3. 3 missions, I think, actually. Okay, I did 2 of them last time, and now I'm doing the last one. Whoa, there, buddy. Shagging up the cool incidents. What, did I get to Aya? Doesn't take that long to get to Aya. She's literally the next incident. Pro, appreciate it. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. I fucking messed up my line because of you. I think it's practice. I'm blaming that on you. But thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Hope whatever you were doing was going well for you. And we're just slowly running our head into a wall and picking up information in Touhou 18. I love Fama. Maybe a DLC or they expand the game up the code for me. That'd be a lot of expansion because, considering that the game as it is only goes up to 12.8. With Doremi, we know she can clone herself seemingly infinitely. How many clones could you handle? I don't know. That's not a... I don't know how many I could handle. To be honest, I don't... Could you even handle one Doremi? Like one Doremi already seems like a lot to handle, not gonna lie. This section is so great! Okay, there's some good stuff there. The grind, thank you, appreciate it. promote after this game? What, do something harder? I don't know. The good news is I don't really have to worry about that for, like, 8 months or something. Oh, that was bad movement. Oop. You do a little bit of throwing. It's fine. I don't know, there's a bunch of things I could go to next, but, like, there's nothing... There's nothing that's, like, immediately on my agenda. I don't know if I'll go to something that's necessarily harder or easier. But Hidden Star? I mean, Hidden Star is a potential. I'm not going to say yes, I'm not going to say no, though. Oof. He likes Hidden Star, and probably part of that's because it was his first Touhou game. I don't know. There are a few things okay, a few things. There's a lot of things I could do, and ultimately, I want to do all the things I could do. But which one I do next, I don't know. I'm not going to commit to anything because by the time that would happen, oops, that was a very manageable wave. Because what's happened in every game so far is, like, I'm constantly dancing between, oh, I could go to this or I could go to that, but I'm not going to worry about what I'm going to go to, right? Like, realistically... Oop, this is the laser spell. Like, realistically, after this, I'm probably going to go to 1, 4, 6, 8, 13, 14, 15, 16, or 17. One of those. I couldn't tell you which one I'm going to, though. But it's probably going to be one of those. It's not going to be something that's not one of those. Unless there's some crazy stuff that happens with 20 in the next while. Or I take so long to do this that Touhou 21 comes out. But literally anything in the, like, 1, 4, like I said, 1, 4, 6, 8, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I can 100% see myself doing any of those next. There are some options I could probably say I lean towards, but who knows? Who knows what I'll be feeling several months from now. What I can tell you is that it is extremely unlikely for an LNN that I go to be Eastern Wonderland, Mystic Square, or Udoli. Or FW. Those are like the 4 I'm probably far and away the least likely to do next. Anything else, fucking roll a dice.
I hate that. This fuck that dodge.
Well, I'm super close on both parts of Stage 4. I've gotten to the blue spirits on pace and the state, or oh, like, if you just for stage run, I've gotten to the blue spirits once or twice. With the stage section. That'll probably happen when I learn the Jimbo misdirects more, but I don't want to do that right now. I don't actually want to do that period, but I got to at some point. And Misumaru, I've gotten to her final half a dozen to a dozen times before, but I can't do her final because I hate it. Mega Moon onto my beloved. Because of everything else, I'm slowly coming to the mind of Sanyo's the worst part of the game, and I gotta get good at her. Top of everything else. I've been of the mind that I gotta get as good as her over everything else, but... Fuck you! That's feeling like it. Sanyo just has the most problems. Not by a long shot. Right? But like with Misumaru, like I hate her final, don't get me wrong. Like Misumaru's really localized in her spell 1. And I guess a little bit in her final. I guess non-3 can do... Like, non-3 and spell 2 can do some things. Non-2 if you forget, but like... But like, Misumaru's really her first spell. And a bit of her final. And Sanyo's really her first 3 attacks are just... Her first 3 attacks are... I mean, I don't like Misumaru final, so we'll see what my opinion is long term when I actually put more time into it, but... I think Sanyo's first 3 attacks are probably worse, at least currently, than Misumaru's spell 1 and Misumaru final. First fight in the game? I'm not saying it's the hardest fight in the game, I'm saying it's the most important fight in the game. Like, Misumaru, I'll probably get more consistent than Misumaru at some point. But I'm not going to say that right now. From bosses? Yeah, I'm talking about bosses. Like the stages are... So, like, stages should be looked at as on their own as well. Like, obviously, stage 4 is going to be the worst stage. However, I'm not too worried about stage 4 long term. I think its really big thing is that Fearless Wind God section. Jimbo's a pain. I know there's misdirection you can learn for Jimbo. Again, I'm just lazy. I don't want to do it right now. The section after Jimbo, like, now I actually have a line for it. I'm still getting comfortable with it, but I'm really happy with it and how it works. Stage 3, Misumaru Midnon is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And, Spam is also a bit gross. Not that disgusting, but it's gross. Like, don't get me wrong, it's still fairly gross. And stage 5 here, you gotta move, what am I doing? The pre-Tsukasa stage 5, I'm not worried about. That seems pretty fine. Tsukasa I think will get good. Oh my gosh, the 6 needle dream. Oh my gosh, the 6 needles. I got the 6 needles for a second. It's huge. Oh my gosh. It really matters here to get those 6 needles. I'm gonna kill the boss, like, slightly quicker because of it. As you can see, that really mattered. Tsukasa, I think I can get consistent on. At least, okay, the stage 5 Tsukasa, I should say. As kind of cringe as she is, I'll get better at her. Yeah, I'm already getting better at her. The post mid-boss is still a bit of a question mark. I don't think it's overall... Like, I think it's bad. I don't think it's, like, that bad. Like, it's bad, but it's not, like, terrible bad. Those gosh darn heavenly steeds. I love slow micros. They're my favorite thing. I lied! No, I mean, Mega Monon 3 is relatively consistent. Doesn't mean I like it, but it is pretty consistent. Micro. I mean, I just go on the art of just one direction movement. Right, when you dash through, it's like I'm just doing right movements. I'm not trying to do a diagonal movement in the moment. And it's generally pretty fine. Like, seems to be a kind of a non-issue. Get it? A non-issue. Okay, that was almost bad, but I didn't kill the blue guy at first. I was like, uh-oh, you're supposed to kill the blue guy. nice down move. I don't think I didn't see that, girl. I don't care if it's not that relevant. I'm still gonna judge you harshly for it. The good news about Misumaru, though, going forward, is Misumaru spell 1. I'm getting close to having Master on it. And we all know if you have Master on a spell, that means you never die to it ever again. So... Eep! Oh, nice lag. Appreciate it. They'll never show up just to jump at the race. Yeah, just his master, which means I've clearly mastered the spell, and I'll never die to it ever again. That's how it works. If you actually look at it that way, Subterranean's the hardest game in the entire series because it takes the longest, theoretically, to top off the numbers. I forgot that you're supposed to time that. I was like, why does something feel off right now? See, you don't need to time down the mid-on. UFO also goes... Oh, does you... I thought Subterranean was the only one that goes beyond 3 digits. I didn't know UFO did it as well. Oh, I do time down the mid-on. I just sometimes forget to... Listen, when you're in the early game, you're not always putting your full brain forward. You just kind of autopilot, and sometimes the autopilot betrays you, and you forget to time down a nod. The good news is you can still play around it, but it is still better to time it down. As observed there, I did play around it, but. Actually, I'm just too cool to do the time down. That's definitely what it is, by the way. Follow me, please. Thank you very much. Kissing the edge of that one. I love 2/3 movement. I mean, she's bound to not listen like twice in a row, though. Hold up a second, Takane. Where are your manners? You have max power for this. Oh, buddy. I don't always hit max power on this spell. Oh, you're cooked, girl. I'm gonna kill you ever so slightly quicker. Yeah, look at that. Time to take the death avoidance elixir. Oh, that's blank guard. Yeah, hardest part in the entire game right here. Ooh. Oh, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. And it gets even harder right here. Ready for this? Ooh. Ooh, this is hard. A lot of focus right now. Ooh, barely made it out of that. Okay, now to the part that actually, like, is a pain. Why can't this just be another streaming section? Why does it have to be a streaming section with... with an asterisk thrown in there as well? Why does this mid not have to exist? Ah! Fuck! Look at her HP. Literally, like, the last possible second. The last bullet and, like, the last accessible wave. This part really sucks doing that 3.0 power. Because you gotta leave them alive for so much longer because you need to pick up all the P. Or we always do spam at 3 power. Ooh, especially when you have to focus briefly. Ooh, that's always a good sign. Yeah, couldn't do it. I'll do a Sanyo before I go. Yeah, the spam's more than manageable at 3.0 power, but if you ever focus briefly, you just curse yourself to a fate worse than death. This is flying right now, girl.
What? How are you this low, girl? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you like that?
It's fucking Lunasa Non 2 all over again. Lunasa Non 2, my beloved. Now she's a lot higher up. Wow, that's lovely. I'm gonna have to perfect the arts of spell 1 so I can stall on spell 1 till I get good vertical movement. I completely diddly dude. Okay. Here's a hold up. Let's move on from Meow. Well, I'll be back for more of that tomorrow.